Hey, my fellow anglers and fishing fanatics, welcome back to the channel, your go-to spot for all things biting. I am your friendly neighborhood fishing expert, and today, friends, we're diving deep into the forecast for Monday, November 10th, 2025, across our amazing United States. Now, I have to tell you, this day is shaping up to be a real head-scratcher, with some big changes on the way that are going to keep us on our toes. The weather is throwing us a curveball with a significant cold snap sweeping across the central and eastern parts of our country. But don't you worry. By the end of this video, you will have all the inside intel to turn these tricky conditions into a memorable day on the water. We're going to break down where the fish will be hiding, what baits to tie on, and how to outsmart even the finickiest lunkers. This one is going to be special, so let's get into it. First up, for all you freshwater fanatics, let's talk about largemouth bass, teats. With water temperatures cooling rapidly into the low 60s and high 50s in many regions, and even down into the 40s in northern lakes, bass are feeling that chill. They are in a transitional phase, bulking up for winter, but a sudden drop in temperature can make them a bit lethargic. You will want to target deeper structure where temperatures are more stable. Think submerged roadbeds, deep brush piles, and the edges of drop-offs from 8 to 15 feet. On what to catch them? Forget the super-fast retrieves. My little trick is to slow down. A finesse jig in green pumpkin or black and blue, slowly dragged along the bottom, can be deadly. Also, don't underestimate a good old-fashioned tube bait or a suspending jerkbait twitched sparingly. If you find a warmer, sun-exposed flat in the afternoon, a slow-rolled spinnerbait might still draw a strike. Remember, they are looking for an easy meal, so make it tempting and slow. Next, for those chasing cold water beauties, let's focus on trout, particularly rainbow and brown trout. This time of year, especially with colder air temperatures, trout are incredibly active in rivers and streams, and many are even preparing to spawn. You will find them congregating in deeper pools, around current breaks and near fallen logs or undercut banks where they can find cover and ambush food. In the Rocky Mountain West, for instance, this is prime time. Fly anglers, break out your nymph rigs with egg patterns, caddis, or stonefly imitations. Spin fishermen, small inline spinners in gold or silver, or small spoons, can be incredibly effective. Pay attention to water clarity if it is clear. Lighter line and more natural presentations are key. Early mornings and late afternoons, when insect activity might pick up, can be particularly productive. And for our friends on the southern coasts, let's talk about redfish and spotted sea trout. While much of the country is chilling down, the southern coastal waters are still offering some fantastic action, though they are certainly cooling. Water temperatures in places like Florida and the Gulf Coast might still be in the 70s or low 80s, dropping into the low 70s and high 60s. Redfish will be schooling up in shallower grass flats, around oyster bars, and along mangrove shorelines, especially on lower tides. Spotted sea trout often join them in these areas, looking for baitfish. Where to find them? Look for signs of baitfish or birds working over the water. On what to catch them? Live shrimp under a popping cork is always a classic winner. For artificials, soft plastic shrimp imitations fished very slowly along the bottom, or suspending twitch baits, are incredibly effective. On sunny, calm days, these fish can provide incredible sight fishing opportunities. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of why this November 10th is shaping up the way it is. The weather across the United States is going to be dominated by a significant cold wave, particularly affecting the central and eastern regions. Daytime temperatures will hover around 42 to 44 degrees Fahrenheit in many areas, but expect overnight lows to plummet to the mid-30s, even reaching the mid-20s to low 30s in the Midwest and parts of the South. This is unusually cold for mid-November, feeling more like December. Atmospheric pressure is expected to be stable to slowly falling across parts of the country. A slowly falling barometer can often trigger a feeding response, but the rapid drop in air temperature could make fish more cautious. Wind will likely be moderate from the north or northwest, bringing that crisp, cold air. We are also expecting some light precipitation, around 0.05 inches, On the 10th, with some areas, especially around the Great Lakes, potentially seeing early snowfall. Water temperatures are reflecting this cold snap. In many northern and central lakes and reservoirs, water temperatures will be in the mid to upper 40s, possibly even dipping into the low 50s. This cooling forces fish to seek out warmer pockets, think rocky areas, shallower wood, or sun-exposed flats that hold heat, or to move to deeper, more stable thermal zones. In coastal areas, particularly in the south, temperatures will still be warmer in the high 60s and 70s, but definitely on a downward trend, causing many species to transition from summer to winter patterns. By the quarter moon phase. For November 10th, 2025, is a waning gibbous, with about 69% of the moon illuminated. This is about 4 days past the full beaver moon. Many anglers believe that the period leading up to and just after a full moon, including the waning gibbous, can be excellent for fishing, as increased lunar illumination can stimulate fish activity, especially during night feeds or low light conditions. While some swear by specific moon phases, my experience tells me that while it can influence activity, it is rarely the sole deciding factor for a good day on the water. Overall, the biological activity of fish across the USA in mid-November is shifting into a late fall mode. Many species are actively feeding to pack on fat reserves for the upcoming winter. This often leads to aggressive bites, but the sudden cold front means we will see periods of caution. Bass, trout, walleye, crappie, and many coastal species like redfish and spotted seatrout will be active, but they might be a bit finicky, moving frequently. Some salmon and trout species are in their spawning runs in specific regions, creating unique opportunities. Considering all these factors, the dramatic cold front, rapidly cooling water, and a waning gibbous moon, I am giving the overall fishing assessment for November 10th, 2025, a challenging to average rating. The bite might be a bit scattered and less intense than prime fall days, but there is solid potential for a rewarding day if you are observant, willing to adapt, and brave enough to face the cold. Those who stick it out, adjust their tactics and target deeper, more stable waters or coastal zones less affected by the immediate chill will be rewarded. So, my friends, don't let a chilly forecast deter you. Get out there, enjoy that crisp autumn air, and make some incredible memories. Remember, a bad day of fishing is still better than a good day at work. Until next time, tight lines everyone, and may your coolers be heavy. If you found this forecast helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you never miss another fishing report. And tell me in the comments below, what are your go-to cold weather baits? Or what species are you targeting this November? Let's share some knowledge.